We don't march and protest because we like to march and protest. All we want to do is be free.
Shaun King.
From New York, Shaun King. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I got a whole lot I want to update us on, so let's just jump right in. On this past Saturday morning, Fort Worth police officer Aaron Dean shot and killed 28-year-old Atatiana Jefferson from outside of her bedroom window in the backyard as she was playing video games with her 8-year-old nephew, Zion. Over the past 24 hours, we've had so many updates on this case, and I hope to break them all down for you now. First, as you may have heard, her neighbor called a non-emergency police line, and that call is available for us to listen to. It's just as he said it was, to simply report that her front door was open. Now, she had a screen door, but her neighbors, who meant well, just thought it was out of the ordinary that their front door was open late at night. We learned yesterday that the family really had just opened the doors and the windows on Friday night to let the cool air blow through the house, and it wasn't for anything deep or weird. If you live in Texas, you know that when the seasons change, sometimes you just cut the air conditioner off and let the breeze cool your home sometimes. That's all they were doing. But as we know, to be black in America is to be punished with death for the most simple actions imaginable. Yesterday morning, we learned from the mayor of Fort Worth and the chief of police that Aaron Dean, the officer, was allowed to resign before he was fired. Now, the chief claims that Aaron Dean quit before he had the chance to fire him, but the chief should have fired him the moment he saw the video. Mm-hmm. The whole nation knew it was wrong. At the moment the chief knew he needed to fire the officer, he should have done it. I will say that both the chief of police and the mayor, they both said many things that seemed good on their face. They apologized to the family. They openly stated that Officer Dean violated multiple department policies and laws. They apologized for basically defaming the character of Atatiana Jefferson by erroneously showing a picture of a gun that she had in the house. But it's hard for me to trust this department. They are one of the most brutal police departments in the nation. Soon after their press conference, it was indeed announced that Aaron Dean was being charged with the murder of Atatiana Jefferson and that he had been arrested and was in the Tarrant County Jail. But here again, it's hard to feel good or have hope in the Tarrant County DA, who is the Republican Sharon Wilson. This is the same woman who charged a Fort Worth mother named Crystal Mason with voter fraud and sent her to prison for 5 years over it. I had a chance to speak to the family late last night and to their attorney, Lee Merritt, and they had some tiny measure of relief that the officer had been charged. But here's the thing. People just want their loved ones to be alive. Yes, charge the officer. Yes, convict the officer. Yes, send this man to jail. But what this family wants is for their sister, their aunt, their daughter to be alive. What even is justice? Justice traditionally means a balancing of the scales. That's why the Old Testament said an eye for an eye or a limb for a limb. But families are tired of calling for arrest. It's not enough. Already just this morning, we learned that Aaron Dean is already bonded out of jail and is back home, safe and secure with his family, while the whole family of Sister Jefferson has to deal with their devastation. They have to deal with the fact that an 8-year-old boy saw this whole thing. How are they going to handle that? They have to deal with the fact that their baby girl was murdered inside of their home. All of these things are traumatic. I've got to run, but I do want to take a moment to thank the 7,000 plus people, including so many of our listeners who donated to the family's GoFundMe. God bless you for that. I know that money is tight with people, And we're grateful that you made room in your budget to show this family some love because they're going to need it. Funeral arrangements are being made now. We're hearing that the funeral could be at the Potter's house with Bishop Jakes, but we'll know more about that soon. And I'll close with this thought. I've sensed something very different over these past few days. People are just tired. People's nerves are frayed. We've been pushed too far for too long, and people are really at wit's end. And I'm going to keep following this case closely. I'll update us again if I get any more information. Mm-hmm. It's just a horrible, horrible case. You know, I wonder every year at the beginning of the year whose names and whose stories like this that we'll learn. I think this is going to be one of those names and one of those stories that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. And I just wish we didn't.
Hey, Shaun, who bailed the cop out?
Well, somebody who had at least $20,000 in cash. You know, they set his bail low at $200,000, but could be the police union. I doubt he had that money in the bank. Somebody told us it was the police union. Somebody else is disputing it. But he got out almost right away. And so what we know is that it appears he had all types of arrangements already in place. His social media is gone. He got a chance to resign. The money was already there. So it's hard for us to feel like everything's going to go well in this case. We're glad he's arrested, but I'm suspicious for sure.
And Shaun, can you talk about the GoFundMe in terms of, I understand that there may be other funds that are out there in her name that are not necessarily being directed.
One of the things that I hate for families is all of a sudden you've experienced something horribly traumatic and you are now being pulled in a million different directions with different family members pulling you in different directions. So the family, the core family, started a GoFundMe with their attorney, Lee Merritt, but it appears that another family member has talked about starting a GoFundMe or questioned this GoFundMe. And here's the thing. This is the one and only fund for the family, but, you know, over $200,000 has been raised in just about 24 hours. And we think that support is going to make a big difference for them.
All right, Shaun.
Yeah, take care, y'all.
So sad.